go? Where do we go now? Where do we go? Hey, everybody, and welcome to Morning Singer. I'm Alberto Alonso, and that song, I'm sure you're familiar with that song. There's no doubt in my mind it is Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses. That's right, one of the biggest songs by one of the biggest bands ever. Guns N' Roses. And as you can see, they use a lot of abbreviations. They don't say Guns and Roses. They say Guns N' Roses because when you pronounce it, that's the way it sounds. Guns N' Roses. Guns N', right? The D is kind of silent, right? Guns N' Roses. And the song, too, Sweet Child O' Mine. Not of mine. So Guns N' Roses really teach us how to put our words together. Guns N' Roses, en vez de Guns and Roses, and Sweet Child of Mine, en vez de Sweet Child of mine. So see, I guess maybe they are helping us with our English in some strange way. Well, this song started out as a poem. That's right, Axl Rose was writing a poem about an ex-girlfriend, and then they were in the studio. And Slash, the guitarist, everybody knows Slash. He wears the top hat, right? He's got that signature snake, too, that he usually wears. And Slash actually means something in English. It means barra, right, in an internet address, in a URL, slash, right? So Slash was strumming the guitar. Now to strum is rascar, right? Strum. He was strumming my pain with his... See, I knew you knew the word from another song. To strum. Well, he was just strumming the guitar. He was jamming, right? That's another word we say when it's just playing music and improvising, it's jamming. So he was just jamming. He was just strumming his guitar, and he started playing that riff. And he didn't think much of it. Now, if we say he didn't think much of it, que no le pareció nada especial. He didn't think much of the riff. But Axl Rose said, wait, that's awesome. That's amazing. We've got to write that down. We've got to put some words to that. And, well, as usual, they had a difference of opinion because even to this day, Slash thinks it's one of the worst Guns N' Roses songs. Now, the fans don't think that in general, but Slash does. So even back then, Axl Rose and Slash could not agree. In fact, they don't get along. They don't get on. Right? Llevarse bien is to get along or to get on, right? In fact, they despise each other. They loathe each other. Son otras formas de decir odiar. To despise, to loathe, right? Se dan asco. If you know the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, right? It's Miedo y Asco in Las Vegas. That's the title in English. So they loathe each other. They can't even be in the same room. But they wrote some of the greatest songs ever. The album that this comes off of, Appetite for Destruction, is just amazing. Just press play and let it go. It's one of those. All right, let's take a look at the lyrics of this super mega hit. Okay, so it starts out, she's got a smile that it seems to me. She's got a smile, una sonrisa, that it seems to me, que me parece a mí. She's got a smile. Now, the opposite of a smile is to frown. If you're not smiling, you're frowning. But here he's talking about her smile. She's got a smile that it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories. It reminds me of, me recuerda, podemos coger esta estructura aquí. It reminds me of my childhood. Me recuerda a mi juventud. It reminds me of my chemistry class. It reminds me, and you can even say it with people, he reminds me of my father. Me recuerda a, es la estructura. Reminds me of childhood memories where everything was as fresh as the bright blue sky. Where everything was as fresh as the bright blue sky. Donde todo estaba tan fresco como el cielo azul brillante, the bright blue sky. Now be careful. I don't know why, but people say the word ski, esquiar. They say, are you going to sky this weekend? No. Sky es cielo, and ski es esquiar. Don't get confused with those, all right? So then the next part says, now and then when I see her face. Now and then when I see her face. Pues de vez en cuando veo su cara, now and then, when I see her face. And you have to sway. Esto es lo que hace Axl Rose, to sway. Now and then, when I see her face, she takes me away to that special place. She takes me away, me lleva me rescata. She takes me away to that special place. And if I stare too long, I'd probably break down and cry. And if I stared too long, now to stare is fijar la mirada, right? So if I stared too long, demasiado tiempo, too long is demasiado tiempo, I'd probably break down and cry. Now to break down and cry is empezar a llorar. Y sin parar, right? If you break down and cry, you lose it, right? Another way to say to cry a lot is to bawl your eyes out, right? So then the chorus, sway with me, sweet child of mine. And then he says, sweet love of mine. That part's pretty self-explanatory. And then the next verse, they go, she's got eyes of the bluest skies. She's got eyes, ella tiene ojos, of the bluest skies, de los cielos más azules, right? As if they thought of rain. As if they thought of rain, como si pensaran en la lluvia sus ojos, right? I'd hate to look into those eyes. I'd hate to look into those eyes. Odiaría mirar en esos ojos que tienes, right? And see an ounce of pain. And see an ounce of pain. Y ver una onza de dolor. O sea, que no quiere mirar esos ojos y ver ningún dolor en esos ojos. La inocencia, la juventud, right? This person, for him, for Axl Rose, is somebody who just, is their safe haven, su refugio, it seems like there, right? And then he continues, her hair reminds me of a warm, safe place. Her hair reminds me of, otra vez con el reminds me of, deberías aprenderlo de esta canción. Her hair reminds me of a warm, safe place, de un sitio calentito donde estoy a salvo. A warm, safe place, where as a child I'd hide, where as a child I'd hide. Como cuando era niño, ahí me escondía. Right? Entonces me recuerda a ese sitio donde me escondía de niño, right? So this girl brings back some lovely memories. Recuerdos are memories for him. He goes, and pray for the thunder and the rain. And pray for the thunder, all right? Orar, I think you say, right? Orar for the thunder and the rain, y la lluvia, right? The thunder and the rain to quietly pass me by. Entonces, ahí esperaba para que los relámpagos y la lluvia me pasaban quietly, right? So what is he saying? He's saying that this person is his refuge. It's his, his shelter from the storm, su cobijo. So it is a beautiful song, whether Slash likes it or not, and the riff is just amazing. I mean, everybody who hears this song can't help it. You can't help it. No lo puedes evitar. You have to play air guitar. Yeah, air guitar. All right, guys. Well, I hope you learned a lot of stuff from Guns N' Roses and, from this episode as well. And remember, keep liking, favoriting, sharing with your friends, and give us your requests as well. We want to know what songs you want to hear. Ciao.